Um, Thank you for bringing that up, because that reminded me of a situation that happened to me and my partner. When somebody threatened me on the street for no reason, we tried to make a police report. The first question that came out of the police mouth was, "Why did you wait too long?" I said because I was so upset that I wanted to calm down first. So, and then when I tried my best to give them the information, they rushed me out the door with my partner, which was very illegal to do, because a service animal have the right to be in any public setting.
Wow.
Okay, so right now I am in the process of pressing charges against the precinct. And they cannot deny that I was never in the precinct, because I got killed in the precinct. And my question to you is that have your group ever come across people with disability rights who, like myself? I wanted to be part of this organization anyway, because I believe in helping them to understand that the disability community. Have you ever come across people who have been subpoenaed in the past, who are physical challenged?
Yes, actually Jess Sundin, one of the people whose house was raided and has a subpoena.
Mm-hmm.
She has she's a disability rights activist, and myself, I have a disability few people know about, but I have one, and it affects my life every day. So we have more people that I probably could think of, but Jess is out front on the issue too. So thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Well, I just wanted to say that, this claim that they are looking, to say that that our brothers and sisters are supporting a terrorist organization. Well, I just want to just say this. The biggest terrorist in the world is the United States government.
That's right.
You look at the history of the murder, mayhem, and assassinations carried out clandestine and outright by this government. It is staggering, and it numbers in the millions. Not hundreds, not thousands, but millions. Everywhere where there has been some absolutely brutal annihilation of people on the level of genocide, U.S. imperialism is leading the pack. Their hands are bloody from World War I to today. They're always, the message is, I am the biggest pit bull on the street. From the moment they dropped the atomic bomb on Japan, a clearly defeated nation, to the invasion of Korea, of the Korea Peninsula, Vietnam, everywhere. They have left a history of murder and mayhem. So when the terrorists come to the door, one thing you might want to say, I'm looking right at you, the terrorists. So if you're trying to serve somebody, you should serve yourself, because you're the guilty party here. But that would just be what I would do, and it wouldn't be pretty. But I can't wait until I get that opportunity. But we just need to. This people in this country need to open their eyes and remember the history. It is awful. But everywhere you can see that they killed almost 2 million Vietnamese and 56 or nearly 60,000 American troops, in a war that, for what? Exactly where were we? How were we threatened? Was I at the time I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't remember seeing any Vietnamese walking up and down the street in Cincinnati threatening me with a gun. But here we have, and it just goes on and on, not only internationally but domestically. The fact of it is that the FBI assassinated Fred Hampton and Mark Clark in Chicago and many other of the progressive, militant black nationalists in the movement for black liberation in the 60s and 70s. And they didn't make any bones about it. When they walked in those doors and unleashed those hundreds of bullets on men who were sleeping in their bed, one of whom had been drugged by the plant of the FBI in Chicago when Fred Hampton was assassinated, and let's be real. Everybody wants to speculate. No less than the FBI is responsible for the assassination of Martin Luther King. They can say everything they want to, but we know this. We know that the FBI was behind the assassination of Malcolm X. So look at the history here. They don't hesitate to murder whoever threatens their way. And if they can't come out with an outright murder, then they do these extra legal things like, invading these people's home. What evidence are the drawings of a little child in establishing terrorism? I'm a little confused here, but this is who we're dealing with. Regular assholes. That's, when you boil down to it, it's just an asshole. But we can't forget this. We can't forget this. We are fighting the terrorists every single day. We are confronting these terrorists. And that our job is that we are going to stand up and we're going to say, just as the brother said, we're going to say no. You're not going to do this. You're certainly not going to do this. And I'm going to cower in the corner and not let everybody know what a rotten, low-down, dirty trick you're doing. So if we forget for a moment, then we say that all of this illegal activity is okay. It is not. And just one other thing. In this country where they talk about freedom and liberty and justice, what did they just do in the last 5 years to the civil liberties and civil protections of each and every one of us in this room. They have completely dismantled them. They have, you know, even though George Bush did it, the fact of it is, it could have been anybody. The ruling class dictated that we had to dismantle the civil liberties of Americans in this country, and that's exactly what has been done. And where's the hue and cry about this? Well, you hear it from the left, and you hear it from progressive organizations, but the bourgeois stranglehold, propaganda stranglehold they have is that it comes out barely as a whisper. They're just like nothing's happening. Well, there has been happening. But let us remember, we don't really have any civil liberties anymore. So when they come to your door, well, you know, use your own judgment and make decisions about what you want to do. But, you know this, that we all stand together in defense. Because if they came for them yesterday, they will come for us tomorrow. Yes. Don't forget.
Okay, I just wanted to mention, it's 9 o'clock and we have to close the meeting. But I want to thank Brother Tom for coming here and giving us a first-hand report about what happened. And as an act of our solidarity, we here in the Macaulay Moratorium Now, we produce T-shirts. And we want to present this T-shirt that we made for last year's Martin Luther King Day that says, "Our struggle continues against racism, poverty, and war."
All right. All right. All right.